Hello, my fellow nerds, and welcome to the Nerd Empire. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you all will enjoy today's reaction video. With that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? Alright, this video is by a Australian YouTuber that I like to watch. And it is by Sydney Watson, which recently she was in the hospital. I can't remember why she was in the hospital, but she's apparently doing all right. But yeah. I guess Renee can be badass in a fight while distracted by kissing. All right, this is by Sydney Watson. It's called The Left Have Gone Completely Off the Rails. When have they not gone completely off the rails? I mean, come on. I'm going to go grab another drink before we start this. Because I'm out of drink. Are there ever rails in this discussion anymore? That's a good question, Tactical. I don't think they ever had rails to begin with, so they're just constantly off their fucking rails. All right. The Left Have Gone Completely Off the Rails by Sydney Watson.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
God, there's a fucking mouthful. All right. What was that again? I have there's a song in here that I have for it. All right, MMIWG2SLGBTQIA+. For those that are wondering what that stands for, if I remember correctly, it is murdered, minority, indigenous, white. I think the G is girls. Two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual plus. Women. Oh. Yeah. Oh, women, not white. Okay. So yeah, murdered, minority, indigenous, women. I forget what the G is for, but two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, I think, plus. So MMIW, just a bunch of bullshit. So it's just, I don't, I like there's sometimes you run into these like TikTok videos where these people will go up to random people and ask them a question. And one of the questions I find hilarious that some of these people have an answer to is they go up to these random everyday citizens and ask, how many genders are there? And a couple of the people who have given the same answer that I like is there are two genders. And then the person asks him, well, what about all the other genders that people say there are? Their answer to that is quite hilarious. It says there are two genders, but there are many different kinds of mental illnesses. And I think that is a funny answer to give because it is a very apt answer to all this bullshit. Because there are only two genders, but there are thousands of mental illnesses that people seem to keep coming up with every fucking year. Hate, zero genders, two sexes, and it's deleted by the AI mod considered hate. That is so fucking stupid. And your bedroom proclivities are not a personality or identity. Exactly, Delvanus. That's pretty funny, Captain Snuffy, that AI modded you for that.
Speaker, I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair, Madame la Présidence. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their.
How do we keep losing?
They, them, and their. There is not referring to a person, is referring to a place. So you're saying you're a place and not a person? My pronouns are they, them, and their. Well, their can get their ass out of here. I feel like that woman is AI generated. Just looks so off. There. I am my whole universe. Well, Arizon, it's still fucking retarded. They, them, and their. Well, they can get themselves out of there. How about that?
To these people. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And today, baby birds, this video is...
What do you mean, welcome back to hell? We've been in hell. We haven't left yet because we're stuck here. We're stuck in the matrix of hell.
Exclusively sponsored by my company, Lions Tea Exchange. I promise I'll keep this brief, but in addition to tasting really, really good, I have a bunch of fun flavors like root beer, which tastes like actual...
A root beer tea bag. You know, honestly, I'm kind of tempted to get that because I'd like to see if that actually tastes like root beer. I've actually been kind of tempted to get some of these Lions Tea Exchange stuff because they have some pretty interesting... She has some pretty interesting flavors. But this, I want to know if it actually tastes like fucking root beer.
Root beer, raspberry elderflower rosé, white peach, and so on. We use...
I mean, I'm not really one for tea, but this is just interesting.
Real tea leaves. Everything is made here in the United States. I pack all of your orders myself, so no weird drop shipping. You can get multiple cups of tea out of the one tea bag, or I don't know, I guess you can just make a huge cup. It's up to you.
As a Zek, I love beer. We are first in the world in drinking beer per capita. But can you outdrink the Germans, Russians, and the Irish? You're sleeping on the tea world. It's great. Yeah, the only tea I've ever actually tried, I've tried green tea and it didn't taste good to me. It wasn't that great. Other than that, I've tried the brisk tea and that was disgusting. It has a root in the name, probably flavor from some plant root. It's root beer. Root beer is delicious.
Also, with Mother's Day just around the corner, mums like tea. This is a fact. And soon I will have a Mother's Day bundle on the website, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Of course, your support helps the channel tremendously, but consider buying a box just because it's good stuff. It tastes really good.
Barks root beer is actually my favorite root beer when it comes to drinking root beer. Now, when it comes to root beer floats, in my opinion, the best root beer to get is A&W root beer. Because there's no root beer that does root beer floats better than A&W root beer.
And I know that you will like it. Link in the description box, little baby birds, and let's get back to the video. It does not escape my attention for a minute that we have our own level of incredible stupidity happening here in the United States.
Did they teach you in...
Well, Fenny, I would hold off on that because if the people in the if the Czech people are going to if the Czech people the Czech people are going to claim that, I would like them to try and outdrink the people from fucking Wisconsin, because my God, they're like the beer capital of the fucking world.
Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist. God is non-binary.
Okay, that is the only statement I can agree on because God doesn't have a gender. Because I will say this. I believe in God, heaven, hell, devil, angels, Lucifer, demons, all that stuff. That is the only statement I can agree on because God does not have a gender. Now, it is referred to as, God's referred to as a he, but God himself, because he can change into anything he wants, he doesn't specifically have a gender. So that is like the only thing I can agree on. He doesn't have one. Referred to as the Father. Yes, he's referred to as the Father, but because he is God, I mean, he can choose to be one gender or the other because he has the power to transform into whatever the fuck he wants. But yeah, he's referred to as the father, but overall, yeah, he doesn't really have a definitive gender. Hellsaber, thank you very much for the follow over on Kick. Welcome to the Nerd Empire.
Treat our southern border like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat out front.
I want us all to be aware of is that
No. Okay, let's hear what he has. Let's hear what he said again.
God
Not
is
him.
non-binary.
We should treat our southern border like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat.
We should treat our southern border like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat. That is a giant fucking problem. We should not have a welcome mat just welcoming anybody and everybody through our fucking border, because that is how you just destroy your fucking society. You can't just let anyone and everyone through. You have to screen everybody.
Out front.
I want us all to be aware of is that modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact,
No, there's not. I don't know where you're cherry picking your fucking science from, maybe the fucking loony bin, but no, science has proven that there are only and will ever only be two biological sexes. Because as far as I'm aware, the only way mammals and humans can reproduce is if a male and a female fuck each other. These people are fucking, they give you a headache, I swear to God. AI mod don't like you, Fenny. There are only two biological sexes. I don't understand these people's. I don't get it either, man. I really don't. The amount of the psychosis with these people is fucking astounding.
there are 6.
I know that you guys are very burned out on politics, and honestly,
This is going to be a long ass video for this one, I can tell you that. Well, 3. Extremely rare case of hermaphrodites have been. Yeah, if we want to count intersex, which is, another way for another word for hermaphrodites. If we want to count intersex or hermaphrodites, then yes, there are technically 3 genders. But if we don't count that, then there are only 2. But yes, hermaphrodite is technically considered a 3rd.
same and fair enough, but I could straight up make an entire video about this guy and the amount of dumb crap that he said. And regrettably, he is a Texan politician who is now running for federal government, so that makes me want to fling myself out a window. But fear not, Christians, because now at least you know.
These type of people, I don't know why we allow them to go for office, because I think in order for people to run for office, they have to be mentally competent and sane. And yet we have plenty of mentally incompetent and insane people who are running our country right into the fucking ground.
That God is non-binary.
I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their.
I've said this before and I will keep saying it. Non-binary is physically impossible for humans to become. Because there will, if a non-binary person ever existed, there would have only ever been one. Because it is literally impossible for them to reproduce. Because they don't have the reproductive organs of either. So therefore they would have died, and yeah, there would have only ever been one. So
I want to get to the point of this video, but I almost forgot. There's this clip as well that popped off on social media where a transgender lawyer decided to argue with a judge and then got held in contempt of court and then screamed, "I can't breathe," while being arrested. And also called for a woman police officer because there were too many men.
If I push that,
or maybe because I'm a transgender attorney practicing all over the state.
I don't know what you are.
You do, man.
that's That's like the one thing these people immediately go to when they start losing any sort of argument or losing any ground or anything that is going against them. They immediately go to the defense of, well, you're just against me because I'm trans. Like, bitch, are you serious? If anything, you could maybe make it's just these people have, like, if anything is working against them, they have no logical or rational way to try and, you know, maybe argue against it, like in a logical and intellectual way. So since they don't have that's their immediate reaction. Well, you're just this or that because I'm trans. Because I'm trans. I'm going to punch you in the face because you keep saying because I'm trans. How about that?
It's not that you do. Why?
Because you're in direct contempt of court.
He shouted at me. No, I'm not being. You did not even say that I was in
You are
contempt.
in direct.
No, I'm not
Judge,
doing
I
my stuff.
apologize, but I felt very threatened by this person.
Do not hurt me. Do not hurt me.
Your hands behind your back.
Do not. Are you throwing me over this?
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. Somebody go on out and run. Please, get a female officer now. Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now.
There aren't any.
What can I say, kids? These people are nothing if not
Get a female officer. I can't breathe. I can't see. I wonder if robots became non-binary. Is it still a robot or did it become scrap? That's pretty funny, Blue. All I hear is "ree." Yeah, pretty much. That's all they're doing is "ree." Automod being pissy.
predictable. Why are you calling for a woman here, friend? Why would that be? But look, as loopy as it is here in the United States and Australia and Britain and basically every other Western country, nowhere is as insane as Canada, where it seems their descent into lunacy is getting more and more extreme by the day. I always thought you guys were just apologetic snow Australians. What is happening over there? Long-term dwellers here on our Hell Gondola know that I have relentlessly made fun of the acronyms that lots of Canadian politicians use literally in Parliament.
It's a time to celebrate
No, it's
the
fine,
2S
Happy.
LGBTQI plus community.
For 2S LGBTQI plus people in Canada.
The 2S LGBT community.
2S LGBTQI. Two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex? Honestly, I feel bad for the LGB part of that because I don't think they everything else just doesn't belong with the LGB part because the LGB is a sexuality. Like, you know, they're gay or bi. I'm sorry, you know, lesbian is just it's gay. It's just another word for gay. But they're either gay or bi. All that other stuff doesn't belong with the LGB part. What is what is standing behind her? Batman villain, probably. That's pretty funny. Damn, I swear this is turning more and more into a key code for a game on Steam. It's no longer an acronym. The longer it less fucking people give up on it. It's a drag queen. It looks like a very fucked up drag queen. It, like the hair, it's basically, it looks like it just dipped his head into rainbow sherbet. And that's the color of his hair. I have rainbow sherbet in my freezer right now, and that's the same as his fucking hair. So his hair is just making me want to eat my rainbow sherbet.
Tremendous. This monstrosity is to refer to the LGBT community and all of its many offshoots, including the people in the plus column. I love that for them. But today I learned that this acronym has actually been expanded because I guess it doesn't include enough people. During this press conference from early April 2026, like...
I completely agree. Their community has been subverted by degenerate perverts. Yeah. And now the fucked up fetish community is fucking joining him too. You can tell the fetish community is joining him because all you got to do is go to a fucking pride parade. Because it's no longer a pride parade. It's a kink parade. And parents let their kids go to it. That's the fucked up part.
Literally just a few days ago, several Canadian figures, including a very left-wing politician named Leah Gazan, spoke about missing Indigenous women.
Good
and
God,
girls,
lady,
which
do you need your earrings to be so fucking huge?
I agree is a genuine problem and very worthy of serious attention. But then they go on to say things like this.
They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This
I'm honestly amazed she can actually remember all that. I wouldn't be able to remember that entire fucking thing. Earrings inspired by Luna Lovegood.
is abhorrent.
For those who may have missed it, let's hear that again.
MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+.
MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+.
Yeah, no clearer that time. This acronym stands for, and I have to read it from my computer because I don't have this committed to memory, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls...
Oh, missing and murdered. Okay.
And Two-Spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex and asexual, transgender, queer, questioning.
I mean, look at all that. What, nothing against the first, the missing and murdered, but what does missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls have to do with any of that? I got nothing against that. It's a horrible, horrible thing, but what does it have to do with any of this? Why is it part of it? So I can now identify as a missing and murdered girl? How is that supposed to work? Yeah, murdered people aren't a fucking sexuality. Only thing I could think of is necros. Ugh. This is just mockery. At this point, yes. Happy at this point, I think all of this stuff is basically just mocking the LGB. Because none of this has any reason to be in the same category as the LGB. None of it. I mean, I was fine. I was okay with letting go of the fact that the T part was part of the LGB, so it became LGBT. I was fine with that. It's all. I don't mind. But as soon as it started adding Q, and then I, and then plus, it's like, why don't you just add the entire alphabet? I identify as a ceramic yard gnome, and I demand inclusion. I know a right-wing trans person, male to female, she hates the activism of the community and acts like a normal human. Yeah, it's like, what can you say at this point? Like, what can you reasonably say at this point? Yeah, and now the maps are actually are trying their fucking hardest to get into this community so that they can be accepted. I can tell you this, the exact moment, the second that they include MAPs into that, the community dies. It dies the second it is accepted. It will fucking die. as Asmongold has said, we need to bring asylums back. Like, in the worst way possible, we need to bring asylums back.
Questioning. Intersex and asexual plus. Yeah. How did all of this get lumped together? And what is questioning? And why is asexual in there? I also really enjoy how they added the plus at the end there, just in case they miss someone. It's just so thoughtful.
And by the way, when it comes to sexualities, there are only 3. 4. Well, 3 if you want to count lesbian and gay as the same thing. But if you don't, then 4. Straight, lesbian, gay, bi. Anything other than those 4, everything else is basically just, any other sexuality is basically just a subcategory of bisexual or gay. Because pansexual, asexual, or whatever else, it's just a subcategory. That's it. It's just straight, lesbian, gay, bi. That's all there is. I identify as sub and lonely.
They're talking about missing women and murdered women, which again is a legitimately serious topic, and somehow through the course of that they have to reference a bunch of sexualities and people who are questioning and not attracted to anybody or don't have any sort of sexual interest. How are these two things related? I'm not even kidding. There's actually another woman who speaks here, and at the end of her...
All this stuff is basically, it's basically short-circuiting the brain of people who actually think rationally, realistically, and logically. Because we look at all that, and basically it short-circuits our brain because we don't know what to say.
Little part, she references gender diverse family members of the women who have gone missing.
Indigenous women, girls, and gender diverse relatives are put in harm's way every day by the actions of this government.
There's just so much irony to unpack here, especially around the issue of, the trans movement and the erasure of women. And, Canada, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I actually cannot understand how you have risen to this level of identity politics. Are you okay?
MMIWG2F.
Identity politics needs to fucking die. The identity politics has no place in society. It does not. It doesn't. It makes everything worse. It's basically retarded. Why do we need identity politics? Just have regular politics. And if people get offended by something that you're saying, well, you know what? That's their problem and not yours. And what's worse about these people who say that this is offensive, the worst ones are the ones who say, like, this is offensive on behalf of other people. It's like if the thing we're talking about, if the thing we're talking about that involves a certain people, if they don't find it offensive but you do, that says more about your retarded ass than them. Because apparently they're not finding it offensive, but for some reason you are. You're saying you're finding it offensive on other people, on behalf of other people. What the fuck is your problem? Young people are more depressed by the prices of homes, doom scrolling on the internet, bad parenting, etc. Then they desperately search for people, a community who helps them, no matter the indoctrination. Look, I love my country. I love America. I really do. But my fucking God, are we filled with the most insanely deranged retards? It gives us a lot. It gives people like me a lot of content. But my fucking God, does it make society hard to deal with?
LGBT.
And crazily, this is nothing compared to a massively leftist conference that took place a few weeks ago. And it's probably pretty obvious based on appearance alone, but this was chaired by a person called Adrienne Smith, who believes themselves to be a they-them. So, you know, there is that.
Oh, Sydney, don't forget the there. They are they, them, there.
Pretty sure you can see what Adrienne Smith is, but that's just worth
They can tell them to go fuck off over there.
noting.
They want people in tiny boxes with the same people. They want our communities separated because strong communities are hard to control. Yeah. They want us stupid, so we're easier to control. We need to relentlessly mock and shame these people. Being tolerant has brought us to this point. Be proud to be called whatever buzzword they call you. There is the omnipresent pronouns. There's also a saying in my country that is pretty cynical, but I feel like it fits with my country is beautiful. It's a shame it's inhabited. That's pretty good, tactical. I like that one.
For the purposes of this video.
We are on stolen indigenous land, and the majority of people who are...
It's like these people don't know. They've went to history class, but they decided to take a fucking nap every single fucking day. We are not on stolen indigenous land. This land was never stolen. Learn your fucking history, you goddamn retards.
are experiencing homelessness in this country are lands in which we are inhabiting.
Imagine teaching kids critical thinking in school. We need to teach people how to think critically because apparently nobody seems to want to fucking do it anymore. Nobody knows how to think critically. They think stupidly. As soon as something that comes up that's hard to figure out or think about it, they immediately dump it out of their mind and try and find the easy way out. Nobody wants to critically think anymore. Nobody wants to question things anymore. They just want to go with it because they think it's easier. Don't believe everything you see and read. Question pretty much everything. Because nobody's asking questions anymore. They're just going with it.
You guys are going to perish when you see these other clips. You know, if you haven't...
Hey, we won it fair and square like the globe. Where the hell do these emotes keep coming from? I don't know. Complaining about being on stolen land instead of just fucking off from it if they think that.
Already, just strap in, because we haven't seen leftism like this in quite a long time. I almost missed it. Almost. So in late March 2026, a political party in Canada...
Hell, a lot of the land that we got here in America was purchased. We bought it. You know, like we bought Alaska off of Russia. So, yeah, a lot of the lands we have here are lands that we actually bought. And these people think we stole it. No, we bought it. We paid money for it, you dumb bitch. Critical thinking is not something people do anymore. I'll push further. People don't think anymore. Pretty much, Kuda. And how are you doing? Mostly purchased. Yeah, mostly. Well, yeah, not all the lands we have here in America are purchased. Some of them we've actually conquered the land. And yeah. But yeah, we did purchase a lot of it.
Canada, called the New Democrats, also known as the NDP, because P stands for party, hosted a convention for their members, activists, and progressives. On the website, it says they are coming together to debate ideas, celebrate their shared values, and help shape the future of their movement. It's just so beautiful. so together and whatnot. When I was writing this video, I actually hit up a friend of mine who lives in Canada, the poor soul, and I was like, hey, you know, what is this party? Like, what's it all about? And he said, and I quote, the NDP party is basically if the gender studies department became a political party.
The most useless, there used to be some pretty useless degrees, but none so more useless than the fucking gender studies shit. I've never heard of a more useless college degree that anybody could ever go for than a fucking gender studies degree. Why are you doing gender studies? What could possibly what could that benefit for you? Wars have been fought for every piece of land on the planet. Even said indigenous tribes fought and killed each other over for land. Yeah, exactly.
And honestly,
in my country, the opposition says reducing woke state media's income is danger to democracy. Anyone who uses this phrase defending nonsense is deranged. Stick examination studies would be more useful. Yeah, honestly, yes, it would. Examining sticks as a study, yes, would be at least 5 times more useful than a fucking gender studies degree. We were like the final raid boss of the world for a few centuries and look at us now. I'd fund finding the perfect stick. I would like to find the perfect stick. I have a degree in calcium anthropology, the study of milkmen.
from what I've seen, I can't disagree. But progressives gather together and do dumb crap all the time. The reason why these clips from this conference went super viral is because of their equity-based speaking system and the cards that they have to hold in order to do the speaking. I will explain.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1.
That's my point of privilege.
Point of personal privilege.
In short...
There's another thing I hate. I hate it so much. It is one of the most entitlement things you can say. Oh, I have a point of privilege. No, you don't. The perfect stick is out there. Never stop looking. I can't go out and get it. As soon as I started hearing this whole thing during debate say, point of personal privilege, you know what? Fuck your personal privilege. How about that? Fuck off. I'm at a point of my personal privilege. Yeah. You sound fucking retarded when you say that. Jesus Christ. I mean, come on. Can we not be, like normal human beings during a debate for like 5 fucking minutes? This is going to be a long ass video. Here, some people say that polite or intelligent people do not vote this or that party. They think they're higher class. No one has privilege. Nothing is promised or guaranteed except expiration. Okay, well, my privilege overrides yours because I'm a normal human being and not a they thing. Point of personal privilege? Well, you know what? My privilege overrides your privilege, so fuck off. How about that?
People get given little colored cards that allow them to advance up the speaker line to the microphone if they lack privilege. If they identify as trans or two-spirit or they're a woman or a bag of potato chips. The trouble was this...
A bag of potato chips.
Very quickly devolved because they could not stop bickering about who had more or less privilege than each other.
Take the opportunity to
adjust the equity card systems, which I understand is a rule that's already adopted. But given that we're dealing with human rights and Canadian identity, it seemed like appropriate time. So I apologize for interrupting this resolution, but I have suggested wording for the equity card system, if we can hear that.
Dude, this is consistently who we are up against, and somehow we lose to them.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes.
How about who was ever in line first gets to fucking speak? Or whoever was there first? Whatever happened to first come, first serve? Huh? Whatever happened to that? I was here first. I got here first. So I should be able to speak first. What makes them so much more privileged or valuable that they get to speak before I do? Huh? Yeah, we need equity over equality. We all have privileges. We can eat, drink, sleep in bed, complain on social media. Imagine how many countries don't have that luxury. Yeah, it's just... The woman has an ear-size privilege, I guess, because good Lord Dumbo. Can't do that. It makes too much sense. Hey, did you hear Dave Chappelle got arrested in Saudi Arabia for killing a transgender at a show? Oh, God. These people are nothing but a headache. Hunting, fishing, boiling water, UV water sanitation through sunlight. They have the ability, if they can actually want it, to survive. The society is too much luxury. They need to invent problems. Yeah, that's the thing, Fenny. These people have nothing going on in their life so much that they feel the urge, like the undying urge, to create a problem that never existed. Because they need drama in their life. They cannot survive without it. They have to cause problems for everybody else. Otherwise, they're going to wither and die.
Hello, I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called.
Gender equity card, Jesus Christ.
On the previous speaker. That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was...
We went...
You went pro, con...
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at Con Mic 3 also has a speaking card.
I am not going to lie. I genuinely have no idea what's happening here. I guess the girl at the microphone is mad and is venting to the they them, who's the speaker, conference speaker, because a man spoke before her. Maybe? Although...
So here's the thing here's my thing with the whole gender thing. You cannot dictate language for everybody. You can't. You do not have the privilege, as they want to fucking say. You cannot control language for people. Now, what you can do is respectfully ask them, be like, hey, can you please refer to me as she? Because that's what I go by now. So if you could just refer to me as he or her or she, I would very much appreciate that. Now, see, if you went up to a person and said something like that, you were respectful, you asked them nicely, and if they see that you're being respectful about it, then they can choose to respect your pronouns. But these are the type of people that don't do that. They're not respectful. What they do is try and dictate your speech. And those kind of people, I say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to call you what you were born as. I don't care if you don't like it. That's not my problem. The moment you try and dictate how I speak is the moment I stop respecting your fucking pronouns and anything else. You want respect from me, you better well fucking earn it. Because these people are the type of people who say that they deserve respect. They demand respect. They demand you do this. They demand you do that. They think they deserve this, that, and the other thing. No, I'm sorry. You want something in life, you want anything in life, you better work to fucking earn it. Especially respect. Respect is a two-way street. If you want respect, you better work for it. If you want people to respect you, you better give respect. If you want respect from people, you better give them a reason to respect you. Oh, did that emote not work? Oh, okay. Wonder why I just put the word for you instead of the emote. I just think I'm too logical for these fucking people.
Oh, I'm not sure. How and why?
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have no value outside of this space.
I quite honestly never thought I would see the day where a lesbian nation would quite literally give out victim cards. So that's something. Although I think the more important commentary here is that these people can't even figure it out in their own environment. How the hell are they supposed to run a country? I am so fatigued.
Let's hear the point on microphone.
The sad thing is these type of insane people who should be in a mental asylum have a platform to talk and try and brainwash people like this dumbass. Look, I'm all for freedom of speech and everything, but it's at the point where I don't think some of these people should have free speech because of how much of a detriment they are to society as a whole. They are doing damage. They bring no benefit. They don't advance anything at all. In fact, they regress shit. So it's just, at this point, as mean as it sounds, I think we probably should take away some of these people's right to have free speech because they are not doing anything but damaging society as a whole. And yeah, like Fenny just said, they're able to vote. They're able to vote on things that can happen in society. And I'm sorry, it's just your brain should be fully functional and logical to make fucking decisions, and these people are not. They have the mind of a fucking teenager throwing a tantrum because they're not getting their fucking way. You can't give these people You can't give these people a test to find out if they're competent or not. Because the moment they touch that test, it'll burst into flames. The moment they try to take the test on a computer, the computer will blue screen. Because they are just that fucking dumb. And here I am as a middle-aged guy in a wheelchair, feeling embarrassed to ask for help getting something off the top shelf at a grocery store. Ask for help, dude. There are 9 times out of 10, you're going to get somebody that's going to be willing to help you. Free speech, not so much, because the world needs to see that they are mentally inept. Yeah, and here's the thing these people don't understand when it comes to free speech. The right to free speech protects you from the government. Protects you from the feds. It doesn't protect you from from an individual not liking what you say and probably punching you in the face because they don't like what you say. It doesn't protect you from the individual person in society. It protects you from the government and from the feds. That's it. It doesn't protect you from the individual. Well, I don't agree with limiting freedom of speech. I will say I'd much prefer we label this thought process as mentally unfit for civil society and open up asylums again and start booking patients. Yeah. Freedom of speech doesn't equal freedom from consequences. Exactly. It keeps you free from consequences from the government and the feds, and not the consequences from people, from society at large. Well, that's good, Fiddle. I'm glad there are people to help you. And there are some people with disability who went to doctors for years to get some income from government, and others who say they are some gender or refugees. They got money instantly.
I'm sorry, just real quick, point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak up, speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask,
get to your fucking point.
Hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience.
This is the other thing I can't stand about these people. They go on and on and on and on for like 5 fucking minutes. And then they finally partially get to their point and they go on for another 5 minutes. It's like you have to wait for like 5 to 15 minutes before they say their fucking point. Say the fucking point. Oh, I can't stand these people. Especially the politicians who do the same thing. You ask them a question, and they do everything they can to like ring around the rosy of that fucking question, and they never actually answer the fucking. It's like, answer the question. You have to keep interrupting them until they answer the fucking question. And with these people, you have to tell them to shut the fuck up and get to the point. Stop wasting our goddamn time. It is so fucking infuriating. I hate it so much. To me, a lot of this is people just causing a scene for attention. It's like if I'm ever at, I'm so glad I don't go to these things. I couldn't go to these things. I would get a fucking aneurysm. But I would just tell these people, I'd be like, hey, shut the fuck up. If you have something to say, get to the point. Stop wasting our time. I don't need a hug. I need a Tylenol. If I had a heart monitor, it'd probably be going up right now.
Experience, I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked, and it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken.
There's another thing. Cisgendered. It's not cis anything. It's just like cis female, cis male. Fuck you, it's not cis anything. It's male, female. That's it. Fuck you and your cis crap.
Over me.
Oh no, a cisgender woman. A biological woman spoke over you, did she? How terrible. Nay, how offensive. What kind of society are we living in where the actual woman gets to speak over the man doing the cosplay? This is terrible. Who signed up for this? How dare she? Send her to the stockade, they, them.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind.
Really? That was your reaction to saying straight? God, you have such a punchable fucking face. I will get people to help me with organizing the cards, you know, for all of us to throw into a pit of fire. How about that? Your cards are useless and a detriment to people's fucking mental state, you dumb bitch.
The microphone. With a prominently displayed equity card, if I see speakers
We still got
ahead of
13
you who
minutes
are
left
not
of this
holding
video,
a card
by the way.
prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you. This applies so far, according to your rules, for gender identities other than a dude.
Now, obviously, we clearly have all this bickering over the
Gender identities other than a dude. Yeah, because, you know, men are the enemy to everybody, apparently. We are the problems. We are the cause of the entire world's problems. Yeah. Especially white men. There, you know, white men. Oh, God, we're just the fucking devil now, aren't we?
privilege cards, but by far my favorite clip to come out of all of this is a woman in a headscarf who is doing...
She isn't in a headscarf. She has a keffiyeh. What the fuck is a keffiyeh? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
That slam poetry way of speaking that progressives like to employ. You guys know what I'm talking about. And this woman accidentally refers to the they, them as a madam. And you guys know the rules. We can't have that.
Canada cannot and will not be part of the legacy of blood that was built in Iraq, in Palestine, and now in Iran. This is a no-question debate. I call this question, Adam and chairs. Thank you.
Oh, is she going to say it?
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair, Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient.
Yeah, there it was. There it is, everybody. There it is. Don't call me a ma'am. Don't call me a madam. Call me what everyone sees me as. A dumb blonde retard. Katya is variation of Catherine. Makes Willies great again. We guys are the bane of everyone. Yep, we only mine, craft, and build everything and make sure the country works. Yeah! New pronouns, re and tard. Yes! Works.
I also have to mention this moment that is also too stupid for words, but following
Dude's headdress.
a tribute video dedicated to the NDP's former leader, a lad called Jagmeet Singh, they demanded to know whose idea it was to make this video and how much money and conference time was wasted on it.
My name is Nicholas Torno. I come from Kingston in the Islands. My pronouns are he, they. And I have a question about the video we just watched, the tribute to Jagmeet Singh. I want to know how much money it cost. I want to know how much time it wasted out of the convention. And I want to know who decided on it.
If you can believe it, tolerance was not the response here. Well, that's because he's a white man. But instead, another female delegate steps up to the mic, declaring this comment as wholly unacceptable and harmful because brown people, I guess. I don't know, don't ask.
My question would be, how much did this entire thing cost, and why did you guys decide to pay for such a waste of fucking time?
Ask me.
On a personal point of privilege, that comment that was just made is absolutely unacceptable. I'm in my house of party where I belong as a racialized person, and we paid a tribute that is incredibly fitting for an incredible leader. And that comment is so harmful in this space.
The most interesting thing about this clip occurs here at the end when this woman specifically highlights that their dear leader, quote unquote, looks like us and fights for us while demanding people show more respect. What is this, North Korea? But this woman and plenty of people like her are actually hypocrites of...
How dare you, Digger? I feel offended by your comment. You didn't ask me how I identify.
The the worst kind. They want leadership to look just like them, while they would call any white person dangerously racist for making the exact same statement. You aren't allowed to feel proud of your heritage or appearance as a white individual, yet everyone else is entitled and even encouraged to make their race the center of their identity. Not for you though, whitey. You need to go in the pit. You are bad.
I'm sorry, for the moment you make your sexuality, your race, your religion, or whatever else, your entire being, like you make your identity revolve around that one thing, you need to be you need a psychiatrist. Your opinion is null and void, because just finding that out tells me everything I need to know that you are a moron and a retard. Point of privilege, no one asked me if I consented to this. There's like 8% of us in the world, to be honest, as a race. We need to get that to at least 40%.
All the time. No exceptions. It's sort of funny because their idea of diversity stops at skin color, and all of the tribalism that guides everything that these people do is so front and center that it actually dictates what kind of leaders they like, what policies they have, what ideas they support. It is no wonder that we have ended up here. But again, if a white person were to feel this way and, God forbid, articulate it, they would be
infidel. I apologize. I will pull out a fingernail in recompense. No, Digger, don't do that.
shamed into the darkest recesses of some cave system somewhere, some social cave system, maybe. But it's fine for everybody else because they are fighting for their minority group. They are fighting for their very survival, despite the fact that some of these people are from global groups that number in the billion.
Point of privilege. I identify as always, and my pronouns are core and wrecked. And I find them all stupidly unworthy of being allowed to speak. Yeah, and that person is going to get banned. Hey, it's been a while since I've had to ban somebody on fucking Kick. Yes, Storm, I did know that. Remember that one DNC meeting where they called each other comrades? No need to apologize or torture yourself. I have thicker skin than people in this video.
The thing is, obviously, it is fun to have a laugh at these people and the things that they do and say because it's so foreign to the rest of us. It's so absurd to prioritize listening to people purely based on who they are or how they identify or whatever. But I can't help but notice, not even notice, but want to point out to the rest of you how many people are in these rooms and how many people are participating in these conferences. And just think about how many people on the day-to-day defend this sort of thing, how many people discuss this on social media in a positive light, and how many of these people have made their way into actual positions of power and authority. It reminds me of Gavin Newsom's wife. Have you guys seen those clips?
I've given our boys dolls, even if they tear the head off. I've given them dolls to learn that care and caregiving is not just an activity that's reserved for women, but that it's also an activity that is a responsibility of men. What I've done with both my daughters and my sons is if I'm reading a book and the protagonist is a male, I just change the he to a she. And it just normalizes for my sons in particular. I don't even just do it for my girls. I do it for my sons because I want them to see.
That's another thing that these people, it's just, you have failed as a parent. Don't force your ideals and your worldview on your kid. just let your kid be a kid. I can't, it's just, I'm so glad I was born in the time that I was born in, because if I was born in the last like 15 or so years, I'm afraid that I would be one of these fucking retards. So I'm glad I was born when I was born, because I'm not one of these retards.
That women can be the center of a story.
What's so hard to wrap my head around is that for whatever reason, maybe it's suicidal empathy, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's guilt or shame, or I don't know what's going on in the Canadian population, but these...
Hey, Pasta. She tries to force her young boys to learn nurturing behavior and admit they naturally want to rip their heads off.
insane people have a lot of power.
So she blatantly admits to the demasculization of her children. Yeah. She looks like she breastfed till they were 6. Control for Jesus Christ. I'm glad to be born a month after Chernobyl. I had the best childhood with 90s games and coming of Pokemon. I personally believe the best time to be growing up was between 1990 and 2010. That 20 years from during that time was probably the best time for anybody to grow up. If I ever have or marry into having my own kids, I'm so going to tell them MLK was white, because that's essentially what she's doing. God.
And a lot of influence and a lot of what they want gets instituted by government policy, in government policy. Now I can't speak, I'm becoming one of them. The same Canadian friend who said that this party is like one giant gender study circle jerk also...
Canadian school trustee hit with $750,000 penalty after tribunal rules against his trans policy posts. Barry Neufeld called SOGI policies child abuse and weapon of propaganda in 2017 social media post.
Also told me just recently that a man in Canada, also just recently, was ordered to pay $750,000 because of his public comments opposing transgender clinics. Almost $1 million for his opinion.
Look, I don't mind if there's transgender clinics for adults, 18 and older, because they are legally adults. What I do think is that any doctor or hospital that has a transgender clinic for kids should get fined, and the doctors should get their medical license revoked. Because that is child abuse. And you are also mutilating children.
And you want to know the literal wording that was handed down to this man? He has to pay this money for injury to the affected party's dignity, feelings, and self.
In a decision issued February 18th, the British Columbia Human Rights Tribunal ordered Barry Neufeld, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, a former Chilliwack Board of Education's trustee, to pay $750,000 to the members of the class comprised of CTA members identifying as the Alphabet Mafia between October 2017 through 2022 for injury to their dignity, feelings, and self-respect. God, you fucking snowflakes.
Respect. This is actually mad. His comments were not remotely offensive, just by the way. Not that it actually matters if they were, because you can't prosecute people based on hurt feelings. But putting that aside, what he said was actually fairly common sense stuff that the vast majority of us, at least on this channel, would likely agree with. Anyway, totally horrendous. I am actually quite shocked that that didn't get more media attention, particularly here in the States. Admittedly, I just found out about it, and now I'm telling all of you, so hopefully you'll go and tell other people, because it's just, that is just crazy to me. But to the point, back to the point of the points of personal privilege and whatnot, this nonsense absolutely happens as well in the United States, and I am positive that some of you have even seen it yourselves over the years, because I have showed you. I'm sure that many of you will remember a video that went viral ages ago from a socialist convention here in the States, where people also shouted about their points of personal privilege.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the...
It is basically, if you hurt my feelings, you are worse than Hitler. An AI mod deleted your comment for hate. God, the AI mod for fucking Kick is hilarious, because the stuff it deletes that people, that Fenny and Captain have been saying on there, they deleted it as hate, and it's so fucking stupid. The AI mod's pretty funny. In certain context, Happy, you are very, very bad, Arizon. You need to get bonked.
chatter to a minimum. It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Your pronouns.
Privilege, point of personal privilege.
Oh, for God's sake.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
This is exhausting.
I'm going to use gendered language now just because I know it's going to upset your dumbass.
First of all, in this room, I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important, because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these.
The thing that absolutely...
God. Please don't clap. Give me spirit fingers. Yes. Totally. So awesome.
Sends me to Jupiter about all of this, these conferences and whatnot, is that I don't know
The
how
Automod is part of a
participating
problem with our
here
society.
don't genuinely find this annoying and tiring and trying themselves. Like, I do not believe for a second that deep down somewhere, when all of this is taking place and they've got a big...
That's it. I'm going to go down a bag of sugar.
with each other about who gets to talk and who doesn't and who's better than whomever and who's at the top of the oppression pyramid. They don't just have this thought that's just...
Yeah, jazz hands. That's what it is.
This is somewhat stupid, and I needed to stop. I like to believe that my political adversaries have it in them to realize how dumb things are and how this type of thing just doesn't work in practice, and maybe that's the little thread that they'll start to pull that will unravel their entire worldview. Anyway, and sort of unfortunately, outside of them realizing how silly all of this is, these people are actively shaping society into...
The look this dude's giving is just like, it's like he's not all there. I mean, look at it, the look he's giving. It's like his brain is gone. He looks stoned. He does. He looks like he's stoned as hell.
To an intersectional mess that concerns itself more with who gets to speak first rather than who might have the best ideas or who might be able to bring useful things to the table. And it's so exhausting to listen to them whine and argue about
The thing that sucks, Happy, is that I've chosen to never do drugs and never do marijuana unless I'm medically prescribed it. So I have to be completely sober and always deal with this. So I have nothing to help me through it.
And the gays and the transes and the furry spirit creatures and who got to speak before them, rather than any actual concern about the issues that they're actually discussing. Bottom line is that everyone here seems to get bogged down in this race to the bottom of victimhood. Now imagine a machine like that running the government. The government is already deeply and inherently inefficient. This would just make it infinitely worse. Ah yes, progress really includes giving people little colored bits of paper that tell them when they're allowed to speak. Yippee! I love progress. Yes, all of this is incredibly funny. It would be very hard not to have a laugh at this, but again, I come back to the fact that the problem is a lot of these people run for positions of power and authority, and a lot of them win. Because somehow they convince voters and other groups of people that all of this is great and works in practice and actually isn't divisive, which it really is at the end of the day. In the end, I do feel like woke has lost a lot of momentum and a lot of support because these people and these movements just burned everybody else out. But if these clips and if the missing and murdered girls and LGBT stuff is anything to go by, they are going to keep pressing forward no matter the cost. And if nothing else, this video lets you know that this crap is still happening and we can have a laugh about it together. Now on that note,
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Fanny.
This is just a reminder, check out Lions Tea Exchange, my little company, using the link in the description. Unlike a lot of YouTubers, I genuinely do everything for my brand myself. I pack the orders. Now I have been putting the tea in the actual boxes and whatnot as well. I'm trying to bring a lot of manufacturing in-house, so just know that when you buy a box, obviously you support the company too, but you also support the channel, and it means a lot to me, and I love sharing this thing with you all. It makes my heart really happy, and I love your lovely feedback. That makes my day as well. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? What do you make of the new acronym? The LGBT QQXY+++. Is it silly to you? Do you think that that they've taken things a little bit too far this time?
A little bit too far. A little bit. I'd say they took it. They just basically took it over the line and then sprinted as far as they fucking could past it, and are still going.
Do you think that this is kind of just where progressives are trending, and they're just going to get more and
more
absurd
up.
as time wears on because they haven't got the memo that all of this stuff is falling out of favor? Do you think, actually, on a serious note, that speaking like this and doing all of this kind of ruins the message, the meaningful message around helping Indigenous women or Native Canadian women who go missing and are murdered and who are harmed? And what do you think of that side of this issue? What do you think of the conference? What do you think of the speakers and the way that they all interact with each other and the points of privilege and the equity cards? Do you think that it's absolutely mad?
Due to all the meds, I doubt they even see the line, or maybe they just derailed so far it's only wilderness. Probably. They took it to an alternate universe and back.
Do you think that there's some level to it that's fair and reasonable? Do you just think we have gone too far, it's time for the asteroid, enough of this? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Like I always say, my wonderful little chickadee people, I hope you stay safe and well and make good choices, because they are very, very important. And I will see your wonderful, beautiful little faces in the next video.
That was quite the video. Oh God, was that quite the video. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I post videos 3 to 5 days a week here. I also post videos over on my other channel for gaming as well, so please make sure to give that a look-see, see if you enjoy that as well. I also stream anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week as well. Links to all my social medias will be on my YouTube page. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.